What is up, everybody? This is Phil, the Kaiju King, from my collection room in Greater Cincinnati. In this video, I'm doing a look at both X Plus versions of Space Godzilla, the 25 centimeter and the 30 centimeter version. The 25 centimeter is the standard. I kick myself in the butt every single day as to why I did not get the Rick with the baby Godzilla. Every time I look at this figure, I think, duh, what was I thinking? But here or there. We will quickly go over to 25 centimeter and then the 30 and do some size comparisons as well. And I'll bring forth the 25 centimeter figure first. Let's do that right now. Alright, everybody, I'm back, and here's the 25 centimeter version of the X Plus Space Godzilla. As far as the movie goes, the movie's okay in my opinion, just okay. I do like the concept of Space Godzilla being a mutation of Godzilla cells that were sent out to space when Mothra went to stop the comet or the meteorite coming toward Earth. At least that's the way I take it. And those G cells went through a black hole, and then they mutated and combined with space minerals to create Space Godzilla. That's the understanding I have for Space Godzilla anyway. And I do like the design and everything and the concept for Space Godzilla. And I've heard a lot of people say a lot of those heisei movies are a lot of beam fights, and this one is a good example of beam fights because Mogera's in there, and Godzilla and Space Godzilla, and pretty much mostly they just do beam fighting the whole time, and I'm kind of okay with it. There is one scuffle with Godzilla and Space Godzilla in the main battle at the end, and it shows the scaling of Space Godzilla to Godzilla. I thought Space Godzilla was bigger than he is. Godzilla and him are pretty much almost the same height, so. But this figure is a really nice figure. It's nicely done. As far as, to me, this is taken from the end of the movie, in my opinion. Because of the spikes of the skin up onto his giant crystals on the shoulders here. These spikes up on the of the skin up onto the crystal. That isn't prevalent in the first fight in the film if you watch it. Those growing skin spikes up onto these crystals is not there in the first fight, but in the second fight they are, and they're portrayed on this figure. Also on this figure, what it has that the 30 centimeter doesn't, in my opinion, is there's a lot of purple in the crystal dorsal plates, especially at the base of the dorsal plates, and even on the tail dorsals, and that is in the movie. I noticed the purple, and that's not so prevalent on the 30 centimeter figure as it is on this one, so I think this one has that accuracy better than the 30. As far as this figure, the tail goes down, touches, and goes up to his left slightly and shoots kind of straight up in the air, which I like. It kind of saves shelf space. The tree bark skin on the figure is nicely sculpted. Overall, very, very nicely detailed. The detail and depth of the tree bark skin sculpting is very nicely done. The end of the tail, of course, has all the protruding crystals sticking out, which looks very good and accurate to the movie. The toenails and finger claws are a light grayish color, and they're pretty nicely done. Big, thick thighs and hips and legs, and nice sculpting there as well. I always thought of Space Godzilla as having knee pads, so those oval-shaped knee pads on his skin there are prevalent there, and they're pretty nicely done. I always called this the kangaroo pouch. I don't know why. Just to me, it looks like a kangaroo pouch. It's red on his lower abdomen and upper chest is nicely done, and the kangaroo pouch is nicely defined. The chest area is nicely sculpted, nice textures and everything. The two giant crystals on his shoulders are very nicely done. They have the nice cut of like diamond shapes in them, and they look really really cool. got some nice purple in there at the base of the crystals, and that is in the movie. As far as on his head here, on the top of his head, the triangular arrow-shaped star on his head is orange in color, and it's pretty cool. It's translucent as well, I believe. And his face is, this is where I think this one doesn't exactly match the movie. His face just looks wrong to me, looking at him. It doesn't look exactly right. This is where the 30 centimeter figure beats this 25, I think, rather convincingly. Is the face just, it doesn't look exactly like Space Godzilla to me. But it is nicely done as far as the sculpting and everything. It's just, it doesn't really capture Space Godzilla's look in the face. There's something off about it, but it's not terrible. It's just the 30 centimeter is better in my opinion. As far as the mouth goes, he has two big long fangs on the side of his cheeks, almost on either side of his mouth. Teeth are individually sculpted. I do believe the teeth on this sculpt is better and more accurate on the 25 than the 30 centimeter. By looking at them and looking in the movie and watching the film, I think the mouth sculpting, and in particular the teeth and the inside of the mouth as well, is nicely done. It's reddish pink, tongue individually sculpted. The bottom jaw has a second row of teeth behind the primary row. But the teeth sculpting on this 25 centimeter Space Godzilla is more and superior in accuracy to the suit in the movie in my view. This is a nice figure, nicely done figure. Like I said, it captures some things to me that was missed on the 30 centimeter, like the purple at the base of the dorsal plates. There is purple at the base of them, and if you watch the movie, especially the first fight, the daytime fight on the island, at the first Space Godzilla's first fortress there, when he captures baby Godzilla, there is purple prevalent at the base of the dorsal plates and on the dorsal spikes on his tail, and that is very well done on this figure, I think. So they both, this one and the 30, capture parts of the movie in my opinion. But my biggest issue with this 25 is the face. It just, something about it doesn't look exactly right. Alright, I will do some size comparisons with this guy, and we'll do that right now. Alright everybody, here is my 25 centimeter, same series, Destroyer with Space Godzilla. Destroyer is quite a bit bigger, but I think he's quite a bit bigger in the film. At first I thought when I looked at these two that maybe Space Godzilla is small, but actually I think he's just about right. Because Destroyer towered over Godzilla in '95, and Space Godzilla doesn't really tower over Godzilla. He's got bulk on him, but he doesn't tower over Godzilla in the film. So I think this scaling is actually a lot closer than I initially thought. They look pretty cool together. Alright, let's do one more size comparison right now. Alright everybody, here's my 25 centimeter Godzilla 1971 with my 25 centimeter Space Godzilla. As you can see, they look pretty good together. Of course, this Godzilla is a lot thinner and less bulkier than the 94 Godzilla, but as far as the sizing, this is about what it was in the film. It's pretty close. So that's what made me think that this Space Godzilla is actually sized up pretty well for its scaling. At first I thought when I seen him with Destroyer that he's small, but he's not small. He's pretty in scale with a 25 centimeter Godzilla anyway. So I think that overall they got his size about right, because in the film this is about what it is. Godzilla isn't really that much shorter or anything than Space Godzilla, but Space Godzilla has a lot more girth than Godzilla does. Alright, we'll move on to the 30 centimeter Space Godzilla, and we'll do that right now. Alright everybody, here is the 30 centimeter Space Godzilla. This is a huge big, huge figure. It's gigantic. He takes up shelf space and everything. His tail goes down, pretty much touches and curls off to his right, but his tail goes back more and then curves off. It ain't like the 25 centimeter, which is smaller altogether, but his tail is much more elongated back before it curves. It's just a very, he eats up some shelf space. Plus, look at his girth. He's very big as far as a 30 centimeter figure. He's one of the biggest 30 centimeter figures in the 30 centimeter line, in my opinion. Very nicely done. He's pretty nicely done for his age and everything. Like I said, his tail goes down, curves off to the right. On the end, of course, the protruding spikes, crystal spikes, which is just like in the movie. This has faint bits of purple on the tail, but not as prevalent as it is on the 25 centimeter. There is very, very faint purple on the base of the dorsal plates, but I think it's more accurate on the 25 centimeter because it's there, but it's just very faint. As far as his skin is sculpted pretty well, but I will say that the details and texturing and depth of sculpting is more prevalent and better on the 25 centimeter. I just feel like that is the shows that how X Plus has progressed over the years in their sculpting details. A lot of people have said over the last couple years that they really upped their game, and that's very prevalent. You can see by comparing these two, just the detail and texture and depth of the sculpting and the tree bark skin and everything is more prevalent and an upgrade on the 25 centimeter. But as far as this guy goes, he is a big bulky guy. His toenails and claw nails are a gray, but it's a lighter gray, almost at a bone white as compared to the 25 centimeter. Big thick thighs in the legs. He's got those Space Godzilla knee pads, like I said before, just like the suit does. His kangaroo pouch here on the front abdomen, lower abdomen. I always called that a kangaroo pouch. That's just what it looks like. I don't know why. But he's got the red, a lower abdomen and an upper chest. The sculpting on this, I would hand to the, as far as details, would go toward the 25. There's just a lot more richer texture on it, and then the sculpting up here around the crystal spikes on his shoulder are it's a little more detailed on the 25 centimeter. But I think, like I said, it's just showing the progression of X Plus sculpting, X Plus production, and just quality from the release of this to the release of the 25 centimeter. But he's nicely done. Now here's where I say that the shoulder crystals in the first fight, if you watch the movie, it doesn't have all those protruding skin growths up onto the crystal. It looks pretty much just like this. It's all pretty much at the base of the crystal. But in the final fight, it's like the 25 centimeter where it has some skin growths up onto the crystals. So that is, to me, this is depicting the first fight scene of the film when Godzilla tries to rescue baby Godzilla. As far as his head goes, here's where I think this thing really captures Space Godzilla's face much better. He just looks like Space Godzilla right in the face overall, more accurately than the 25 does. The eyes on this one, of course, are mostly red with a black pupil. Pretty much red with a black pupil. And that's how his eyes was in the film. So, he has the two protruding fangs on his cheeks here on both sides of his face, and then his mouth is done well, but I think the teeth sculpting on the 25 centimeter is more accurate to the movie because the upper jaw teeth are pretty much the same size on this guy, and the 25 centimeter they're different sizes, and that's how it was in the movie. but it's pretty admirably done. But the mouth detail and sculpting and the teeth is superior on the 25. The diamond shape, the triangular shaped arrow shaped crest here on his forehead is nicely done. It is orange, of course, but this is a pretty nice figure. I would recommend it if you're a Space Godzilla fan, especially. Overall, I still have an affinity for this one because this is the first one I got. I'm not going to lie though, the 25 does hold some characteristics of the movie, as I said, that this one is missing, in my opinion anyway. Alright, I will bring this 25 centimeter back and do some closing comments, and we'll do that right now. Alright everybody, I'm back, and here I've got both the X Plus versions of Space Godzilla. Like I said, they're both pretty cool, I think, and they both hold parts of the movie in them. Like I said, with one example is the crystal spikes on his shoulders. This, to me, portrays the first fight in the film, if you watch the film. And then the 25 centimeter portrays the final fight because it's got all them skin growths going up the spikes. That is not in this scene, the first scene of the film, the first battle on the island. That they're not prevalent, them skin growths, but they are in the final fight in the Japan, in the city. So I think that these both kind of capture different parts of the film. And then where this 25 centimeter, to me, the depth, sculpting depth and detail is better on this tree bark skin and everything. And then the dorsal plates at the base of them have the purple, which you can see that really well in the first fight of the film between him and Godzilla. That's not as prevalent on the 30 centimeter. So I have to give that to this 25 on that regard. And then the mouth, the teeth and the mouth sculpting on the 25 is better. But the 30 centimeter, the face is much better in my opinion than the 25. His face is better, more accurate to the film. But I would recommend, if you're a Space Godzilla fan in particular, you got to have at least one of these in your collection. And I got them both. I just wish I would have went Rick on the 25 to get the baby Godzilla. I forgot, I'm going to do some quick size comparisons with this 30 centimeter. I forgot to do that. I will do that right now. Alright everybody, I'm back. Here is the X Plus 30 centimeter Godzilla 1992 with my Space Godzilla. As you can see, I think that sizing's pretty darn close because like I said, Space Godzilla didn't really tower over Godzilla like Destroya does, so I think that's a pretty accurate rendition of what they should look like together. Alright, we'll do one more size comparison, and let's do that right now. Alright everybody, I'm back. I've got the 30 centimeter Hedra with my 30 centimeter Space Godzilla. You can see these are two of the biggest 30 centimeter figures that X Plus has ever made, in my opinion. They're both huge, they're both tall, they're bulky, especially look how bulky Space Godzilla is. He's just a big fatty. But these two are two of the biggest, for sure, 30 centimeter figures out there that X Plus has made, but they're both pretty cool. Alright, we'll go back to some more closing comments on these two figures, and we'll do that right now. Alright everybody, I'm back. Space Godzilla is a okay movie. I like the design of the creature and the concept of the creature. It's totally sci-fi how they come up with this stuff, and that's the great thing about Toho. And if you're a Space Godzilla fan or a Heisei fan, I would recommend getting one of these and adding to your collection. They're pretty nicely done figures, both of them very admirable to the film, and as I've noted the traits previously, so I would highly recommend either one. They're really cool looking figures. I will go on to some close-up of these two. I want to thank everybody that supports my channel and takes their time to view. This is Phil, the Kaiju King, from my collection room in Greater Cincinnati, and y'all have a very wonderful day.